Today, we'll learn about how to make the views and the dimension more in depth. So we used to report uh, the parts we have drawn in a drawing, but we haven't shown you more details. So for now, we will learn more about how to go in depth in these details so the operator or the machinist will know the precise dimensions and the details for the part so it can be manufactured or casted or fabricated properly. So open your courses and log into lab number 8 and download the file. So to download it properly in the directory you want, right click on it and go to save link as, then download it in the directory so the Solidworks will recognize it immediately. So now go to the Solidworks. So I want you to open the part to see it in details, in more details. So you can see the machine block, which is very close to the engine block, which have many details. So if we report it as we used to, so if we report only the front view, the side view, and the top view, and the eyes view, so maybe the machinist will not having a proper indication how to use the milling machine or the drill or the casting properly. So we need to go more in depth. You can go and see the parts. So it has many details. So instead of opening the part as we used to, we use the drawing. Also, you can immediately go and make the drawing from the part. It will give you the same thing. So we used to submit our homework using the first type of paper. Also, you can um, print it down using your printer or the library using A4. For this exercise, you will use the D. So it depends on your company. So each company have different blueprint projects and have a different type of documentation, and they usually have a hard copy for their projects. So they will use different types of printers, and the SolidWorks offer these options. So it will give you a high resolution regardless the type of paper you want. So open it. You will notice it's very similar to one we have used to, but it's bigger than the usual one. And it have all the same options. So we will start for editing the designer information and the block information. So we can add the designer name. And also you can add the part name. So this will be lab 8 in a class exercise, or I can name it as the machine block. So each company usually have a different serial number for their parts, and it sometimes indicate what is the material used for this part and what is the supplier, for example, for this part, and etc. So to make it simple here, name it as what you want. So we can just name it, let's say, AL, for example. So this is made out of aluminum. And then let's say this is sand casted. So we can 01 indicate that we're using the sand casting process. Then you can, for example, put another numbers. Let's say this one is how much bound, and this is a trial one. No, so for the scaling is very important to report the scale. So the operator, for example, maybe he wants to have like a projection for the part over the sheet. So like he used the shadow master to know to what extent his part is aligned with its correct dimensions. So here we will use 1:2 scale. Of course, you need to put it in the right size so you can change the size similar to way you used to do it with Microsoft Office Word. So we want to go out from this one. So just right click on it and click edit and you have the paper. So we want to import the part. So you should have the view palette here. So we want to start dragging the views. So the most important view usually is the front view. So you can just click it and put it in the center. So the other views will be created accordingly. So we can create the side view and the top view. So whatever you played with these views, so for example, if we want to show it in solid or like just showing the part or hidden part, it will apply for all other views. So here you will use the other scale, so 1/2. So we will have some space for the other views. If you want to change the location for the front view, the other one will be changed accordingly. But the other ones will be changed only horizontally and vertically based on the original view. So to break this alignment, so let's say you don't want this to be just only limited to this direction. So you want to move it in other ways. So you go to alignment and click on the break alignment. So now it doesn't used to have with the original one. If you want to retain it to its original, so you can just right click on it and default alignment, so it will retain to its original view. So you can close this window. And now we want to add a new view. So we can go to the view layout. We want to add the original view, the eyes view. So you can do it in different ways. So you can select the block and then put it in the way you want to. So we want to select this part and we want to put it in this corner. So here we have the eyes view. Of course, you want to share the scale to 1/2. So this is the scale for your part. So you can move it around and you notice it's free from the other views. And you can click on yes. Now we want to show some details for our part. So you can zoom in. Let's say the operator wants to see what's going on with this one. So you can go details and select this one over here and have a section for that and just put it in the other one. So this one will be created from that view. You can rename it as you want. So here let's K detail 1 or A for simplicity. And also the scale will be shown in this one. So here you can use custom scale. So if you wanted to put it 1/2, so it will have the same scale for the original one, which is not useful. Or you can put it 1/1, so it will give you the original one. Okay, so this is the original view. Now let's have another type of view, which is the projected view. So I want to project this part over here. So it asks you to select the part you want. So when you put it over here, you will see a projection of your part. So, and also this is derived part, so it applies what we use to have all the information. So if you scale this one, it will be derived by the previous one. Now we want to add an auxiliary. So let's say the operator want, since this is having some details over here, so he wants to have an auxiliary view. So you can just select this edge and have inside for this one. So, and it will also have its own name. So this is will be, for example, this is will be a B, because this is derived from this view, and it have all the other information. Finally, we need to have more details what's going on inside this one. So we want to have a section view. So click on the section, you will have a different options. So you can slice it vertically, or you can do it horizontally or angular, or you might have a different slice, so you can do it in different ways. So like if you have another views, also you can do it in the same way in the broken out view. We will just discuss it shortly. So go over here. So I prefer to cut it from the circle over here. So you can notice how this view look. It's hatched right now. You'll notice this is hatched. So what is the meaning of hatched? So there is a material, solid material. If it's like that, so there it's empty. So there is no material over here. And all the other information, just keep it as it is. So it's indicate the section CC here is cut it from here. So we want to have the hidden lines, to show the hidden lines for our part, because maybe the operator will assume this is a solid and will not have the proper indication of what's going on. So you can click on it. So you will notice when you click on it, all the derived view will show the hidden files, except this one, because this one doesn't have a relationship with the previous one. So you know these two holes are not immediately in the surface. So like they are having some depth. And we want to show the operator that he have two holes over here. So you can select the breakout view. So you can just draw around that view here. And close it. So it asks you about the depth. So how close you want. So like for example, how much these holes are there from the original one. So you can select the proper depth for it. So here it will show you that it's hatch material, but from in like this is the center of these circles when you go in depth like that, and we have two holes. Okay, so let's go back a little bit for this one. Let's have another break view. So breakout, sorry. So let's say for instance, you want to go in depth with only point 0.1. So how it's look like? So it's still hatched. So that's mean that we didn't reach out these holes. Okay. So let's do it as the recommended in the textbook. So it's 0.5. And we have the center of this one. Now, let's say, like, we want to see this block as shared. So we want to see a section for this one. So we want to have a cutaway view. So the cutaway view cannot be presented in the other views. It only can be presented from the model, from something like ISO view. So again, we need to add the original view, the ISO view. So this is should be the ISO view. So select this one over here. You can change what view you have. So this is the model view for this guy. Or I just want to delete it. So delete this view again. And again, I want it to be 1/2. So go to the scale and have it 1/2 view. If you don't like what you are seeing, so like you can rearrange it and just click on F. So you will have inside full view, so you can arrange the other ones properly. Let's go back to this view. So this is the default. I don't want the default one. So I want to show a cut view. So here it will show you how this block, if I take a part from it, how it's look like. And click on yes. Now let's say it's usually maybe give some ambiguity about that. So we need to add some material property for this view. So go from view layout to annotation, click on the area hatch. So here we want to see this view. So it's hatched. You can select the proper material. So this one we know it's from aluminum. So we can change it to aluminum right now. So and we want it to have 1.5 with the degrees. So here change the boundaries. So we want to select different boundaries. So this face is already selected, and this one because it's cutted, and this one, and it's done. So let's say maybe the operator confused with the other views. So we can still change these views material property. So click over the hatched area, click on it here. So change it to aluminum as it's supposed to be 1.5 and click on it. So you can see it's changed to aluminum, and also you can apply this. So click on the hatch area, change the aluminum, and then we have the 1.5 for this area, for this face, and click yes. So we are done with chapter 6. You want to save it and see you in chapter 7 for the dimensions.